Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here from Supersize Your Business. Today's topic, today's idiom is kick the habit. And as I was researching and doing this one, it ended up this morning I decided I'm going to make it a two-day actual idiom discussion. Not because it's so much depth in terms of where it came from, or the origin of this particular idiom. The actual real origin is kind of unknown and unclear. It's not clear where it exactly came from. Kick the habit. It's been around since the first half of the 19th century, or the 1900s, not the 19th century, the 1900s. And kick as in to get rid of, stop doing something, or to overcome or to give up. Usually the habitual use of something, speaking in terms of usually something that's bad for us. Alcohol, narcotics. There was some belief that it came from the expanded use of opioids and the opiate crisis, but I think that it's been around since long before then. Anyway, today we're going to talk about the 20 bad habits that are stunting your growth, your business growth, your life, and probably your happiness. It actually started out as 10, but then I found an article about the 10 bad habits that might be impacting your happiness, and I started to brainstorm and add my own, and I came up with 10 more really easily. So I thought, let's talk about the 20 bad habits and ask ourselves, do a little inventory. Do I have any of these bad habits? Because guess what? Chances are we all do. I know I have. I still slip into some of these behaviors and some of these habits. And then tomorrow, instead of just leaving you hanging, I will give you 15 or 16 strategies and tips on how to get rid of the bad habits, because it turns out that the research on habits is a little bit more confusing and a little bit more varied than we've been led to believe. I remember when I first found out that the 21 days to form a habit actually came from the personal development industry. One of the guru speakers said or read somewhere about a study that had been done for 21 days that was not founded in science. One study that it took 21 days to form a habit. And like a lot of things in the personal development world and that industry, it ran through the guru circuit, therefore millions of people like wildfire, and people came to believe that there's scientific proof behind the 21 days to form a new habit. And then we try something for 21 days and it doesn't work for us, and we think there's something wrong with us. Well, it's because it's not founded in science. It's not founded in studies. And they've actually found that it takes different people different amounts of time to form a new habit, or a good habit or a bad habit. Now, the thing about habits, bad habits, easy to form, really easy to start. A bad habit, super hard to quit. Good habits, difficult, more challenging to create and add to our lives, and super easy to quit. I think of my personal life and I think of exercise. It's a habit, a daily habit that's really hard to form, but it's super easy to skip a day and miss a day. Drinking too much coffee. Actually, for me, it was giving up diet soda, diet pop. It was probably 7 years, literally 7 years before I stopped craving a diet soda every single day. And I haven't had pop now for about 10 years, going on 11 years. But it took me forever because I had spent a couple of decades forming the habit. And my body, just like coffee or cigarettes or anything else we get in the habit of doing, it's really, really hard to break. So today we're going to talk about what are some of those habits. And tomorrow, I'm not going to leave you hanging. We're going to talk about how to break them, ways to break them. And I've had lots of practice over the decades creating and breaking bad habits. So what are some of these habits that might be stunting our growth, keeping us small, small? And I'll share the ones that I got from somebody else first, and then I'll share my own take. So number one, postponing, putting things off. Number two, or postponing your goals, not going for your goals. Number two, living a mediocre life. Average sucks. I'm actually in a challenge this next week called Average Sucks, and I love it because I've thought that for a really long time and felt that way. Hey, if we're just like everybody else, if we're normal or average, if we're just striving to be normal, that means we're just striving to be average like everybody else. And normal people don't start their own businesses. Normal people don't want to supersize and grow their own businesses. So I figure if you're listening to me, you're probably not average or normal in the first place, and you don't even want to be. Number three, self-sabotaging. Our mindset, negative self-talk, setting ourselves up for failure, and there's a whole lot of other ones I'm going to share that add into this, but self-sabotage is going to impact our happiness. It's going to stunt our growth, especially as we're growing our business. Number 4, running from your problems. Ignoring our problems, running from our problems, pretending they don't exist, burying our head in the sand. Any of those things are going to stunt our business growth. Number 5, worrying about your flaws. I remember in corporate America, every year we would do the dreaded performance review, and what we feared most was that other people were going to point out everything we did wrong. And in a lot of feedback systems and a lot of organizations, that's how they do it. They focus on the things that you're doing wrong or they want you to improve on and do better, and they don't focus necessarily on the things that you're awesome at, the reason you're there in the first place, your strengths. So if we focus on our flaws and fixing them, we could be fixing things forever because we're human. We're all inherently flawed. But if we focus on and build on the things that we're great at, our genius zone, that's how we grow and build and contribute more to our businesses in the world. Number 6, trying to control everything. Anybody ever been a bit of a control freak? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody you know? Well, that used to be my thing. Number 7, blaming others. If we blame others, and I will share one of mine is making excuses. If we're making excuses for anything, that's keeping us small because we're focusing on blame and the problem. We're not focusing on the solution. Number 8, trying to be something that we're not. Been there, done that. We all have, right? I've been in jobs and roles that I thought were the right thing for me, got in and realized, oh my gosh, this is not the right corporate fit for me. This is not the right business for me. This is not what I want to be doing. So make sure that you're doing things that you love and you're working toward your genius zone and you're really contributing in a way with your business and your life that feels right for you. Number 9, living in the past or living in the future. I think we all know, I like to think we all know, but maybe we don't. The only time we can affect or do anything is in the present moment. So if we're living in the past or on our past glories or our past failures, or we're living for the future, oh, when this happens, I'll be happy. When I make $1 million a month, I'll be happy. When I have the perfect family, I'll be happy. That's living in the future. And number 10, constant complaining. If we're complaining, we're stunting our growth. And then I started my own little list. And of course, number 1 on that was in no particular order. So let's call this number 11, making excuses. If we're making excuses or justifying our actions or again, kind of goes back to blaming, we are stunting our growth and preventing our business from being what it could possibly be. Not learning from our mistakes. If you have built your business and never ever made a mistake, would you please call me, because I definitely want to have you on my podcast, because I don't know a single business owner or person that's ever done anything of any significance that hasn't messed up, made a mistake, said the wrong thing, done the wrong thing, got involved with the wrong partner, lost their money, made money, etc. We all make mistakes, and the whole point of making mistakes is to learn from them. Quitting or giving up. If we quit or give up too soon, it's going to stunt our growth and keep us small. Read my own writing. Oh, slow decision making or not making any decisions at all. Asking for permission or waiting for permission. Most business owners I know are rule creators and rule benders or breakers, not rule followers. They're not following the rules of their industry. Being slow to act or not acting, not taking action. Nothing happens until we take action. Not thinking for yourself is a huge stunt your growth, I guess, bad habit. And a lot of times it's easier to let people think for us and we just go with the flow, but it also keeps us really small and stunts our growth. Not doing your homework or your due diligence, lack of confidence, and my final one is going it alone. So I would love to have a discussion about and have you share in the comments below some of these things that you have experience with. And I'm going to say, if you say, I don't have any bad habits, I'm perfect, I definitely want to talk to you and have you on my podcast for Supersize Your Business, because people need to learn from you and how you've pulled that off. Because I don't know about you, but I can see myself in many of these. Not now, maybe, but boy, in the past, I can see myself in almost all of these habits, bad habits. And I guess the trick is we all behave this way sometimes. The real thing and the real way of succeeding and not stunting our growth and supersizing our business is by not making them into habits, not making them a regular way of behaving for us. So that is our first part of Kick the Habit part 1. What are some of the bad habits that we might have that are stunting our growth and keeping us small? And tomorrow, join me right here on Supersize Your Business, and we will discuss 15 or 16 tips on how to kick bad habits, how to get rid of habits, because it's all well and good to know that we're human and we have bad habits, but we got to know how to knock them out of the park so that we can supersize and grow our business. Questions? Share in the comments below your experience with bad habits, and I will share some of mine, because I know that I could discuss and talk about this probably for a 3-day seminar without even having to prepare, because we all make mistakes. The trick is to learn from them. All right, have an amazing day. I will, of course, be with you tomorrow and talk about Kick the Habit Part 2. Bye. Have a great day.